And welcome here, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hector Arena, or as Mr. Ken Reed would like me to call it, the house that T built here in Pictou, Nova Scotia, for this matchup between the Subway Selects and the Surge. Should be a very entertaining game here. Subway Selects sitting in first place, but with a win from the Surge today, they can move up and tie for first place with them. As we're a little over 25 games into the season for each of these teams. Starting in net for the Selects is Amy Field. And in nets for the Surge is Rebecca LeBlanc. Seems to be some issues with the Surge's net, so the refs down there trying to fix things up before puck drop here. And here we go. Puck is dropped and it's won back by the Surge. Move back, Surge still in possession here. Moving through now, the captain hands it over. Robertson trying to get there. Zach goes around the back of the net. Subway with it, trying to break out now. As that's moved up and intercepted by Rachel Hartel. Moved up and that flies over the stick of Robertson, and that'll go deep into the zone. Battle for it in the corner. It pops out. The Subway Selects will get possession now. Moved up, trying to get back for it is Kim, and she'll throw it back into the Select zone. Moved up, Selects trying to break out now as they've been hemmed in their zone for a good part of the first period here. And they'll dump it in. Fired up, Sangster trying to get her stick on it. She'll grab it off the boards and bring it in. Shot on net, poked away by Boyles. That fires back up. Give it the shot on net, goes off the pad and into the corner. Connolly racing for it, and she'll move it up, but that's dumped back in. Here comes Moreau. She'll move it up, and it's off the stick of McLeod and in. And LeBlanc will cover it up. Surge putting on some great pressure here to start out the first. But now we'll have an offensive zone draw for the Selects here, their first of the game, with 18:28 left in the first. We'll redo the draw here. As it's won back by the Surge and moved around on net, a risky move there. As it's fired back. McIntyre with it, and she'll cross red and throw it into the Surge zone. That goes right in front of the net, and it's moved out. Might be an icing here against the Surge, and it will be. So we go back down to the Surge zone. One back by the Selects. McIntyre having a look. Still with it. Looking for a pass. She'll take a shot on net. That goes off the stick of LeBlanc. Battle for it in the corner. Now behind the net. McCaddy's back there battling for it, and the Surge will get it, and they'll start to move it out now. It's Poirier crossing red and dumping it in, but it goes off the inside of the Selects bench, so we'll get a stoppage in play, and both teams will get a quick change in. Face off just outside the Surge zone here. One back by the Surge. That's pushed in. Here comes the Selects moving. Can't get the shot off. A great defensive play from the Surge there. Now here comes McCormick trying to play it through. Dorian's there to stop her and throw it back in. Back behind the net now. Selects with possession. They'll move it up. Hand it over. Dorian. A shot on net goes through. Battle for it in front. Trying to push it in. LeBlanc under some pressure, and she'll cover it up and make the save here. So another draw in the offensive end for the Selects here. Battling forward is MacArthur. She'll move it up. A shot on net blocked in front. Again, up to Selects. Shot on net from Burris, and that goes off the pad. Moved around, Surge racing to get there. Tran couldn't get there, so it's moved back around. Hartnell battling for it. That's back to Tran. She'll move it up. Push through, and it's grabbed up again by Burris, who dumps it behind the net. Surge with it as they start to break it out. Hartnell moving it up. A shot on net off the pad. Robertson trying to get her stick in the air and push it in. Just quite couldn't get there. So Grinton will move it up. Turned over, and the Surge will grab it, and they'll start to move it in the neutral zone as Robertson backhands it into the Selects end. Moving through with lots of speed for the Selects now is McIntyre. Coming in, a shot on net blocked in front. Great defense from the Surge here early on as that goes back down. Into the corner of the Selects end. They're going to try and break it out. Slips past the stick of Robertson. Or Rossong, excuse me. Surge moving it in their own zone. Moved up along the boards. Lucky trying to get there, but it's moved up. Here comes Moreau. Throwing it in, and she'll head off for a change. Along the boards now, Selects trying to break it out. And that's stopped in front off of a shot from Boyle, who joins the rush. Up to Boyle again, who throws it on net. That's blocked in front. Moving it through, Surge into the Select zone now. Played through and taken back by Martin. Moved up now. Francis McDonald trying to get it in, but that'll get turned over. Now here come the Surge. Thrown in on net by Tran. As that moves behind, Selects battling for it in their own zone. Trying to break it out. That one's blocked. Moved up, an opportunity here for the Selects as they move in. It's Chisholm, and she'll move it. Cycling into the corner, Chisholm again. Hands it up, and it's moved over from McIntyre over. A shot on net. Goes wide into the corner. Surge getting possession now. Buffett moving it through. Walking the blue line. Almost loses that one, so she'll dump it in. In their own zone now, Selects with possession. They'll turn that over. That's moved up. Kim with it. A shot on net goes high. Back around. Kim keeping it in at the line. Throwing it back. Surge still with it now. McCormick in there battling. Moves up for Kim. Blocked shot in front by Burris. as that's moved up. Surge throwing it in, still with possession here. Buffett moving it up, and that's turned over, so the selects will start to break out now. Tanner throwing it in on the backhand. That gets by Kim and goes deep into the Surge zone. Move down the ice now into the select zone. Dumped in by Gibbs. Now behind the net is the selects. MacArthur moving it over. Playing it off the glass. The selects break it out, but the Surge take possession. Tanner handing it over. Excuse me, Trandon. Moved around the back of the net. Field coming out to make a play. Moved up, and that'll exit out of the zone, but dumped back in by Gibbs. Trying to get possession now with MacArthur. Battle for it in front of the bench, but Rossong will throw it back in for the Surge. We're going to get a penalty here. Who against? I didn't catch. Looks like it'll be Chloe Leckie who heads to the box. So selects get a first period power play here. Draw here. Battling for it along the boards. Selects getting possession. MacArthur against the boards, battling for it. We'll get a stoppage in play. Draw here again. Into the corner now. Played around, a shot on net from Boyle. That goes back up. McIntyre having a look. Plays it in. Moved over. And McCaddy trying to make a play there. Almost gets turned over. MacArthur with it now. She'll cut around in the corner. She moves it back up. McIntyre having a look. Another shot on net, covered up by LeBlanc, who's having a great start to the game. Another shot on net goes wide. Shot blocked in front by Buffett. A big defensive play there for the Surge. Into the corner now. Moving it up for Burris, who hands it back over to McIntyre. Shot on net. And it's covered up again by LeBlanc. Draw here. Played through, moved up. Still battling for it in the select zone, or the surge zone, excuse me. Play it in, and this surge will get it out to the neutral. Keeping it in play is Burris, and we'll get another stoppage in play here for a head contact penalty. Looks like Poirier is headed to the box. So we'll get another power play here for the Selects as they try to strike first. McLean trying to win that one. It's moved up. Moved over McIntyre. Shot on net. Played in front. A great play. Tip saved by LeBlanc. And that goes out to the boards. McLean loses it off her stick. And the Surge will move it down the ice now. McCormick battling, but that's turned over as the Selects try to break it out now. McIntyre moving it over and into the Surge zone. McLeod is back to grab it. Played in front, an opportunity, shot on net, and it goes high and into the corner. Moved up, and that'll squeak out of the zone for the Selects. Back in, it's Burris. Or excuse me, McIntyre. And that's moved back down by the Surge, who cleared it. With just 45 seconds left to go. Coming through now, handed off. And we'll get an offside here. Draw here just outside the Surge zone. Moved up. Selects moving it in. It's Boyle. Playing it into the corner now. They'll battle for it. And that one squeaks out. Down the length of the ice, back into the Select zone. Moving it up is Dorian. Up for Boyle, and Boyle will dump it into the Surge. Kim grabbing it, trying to get possession. We'll have to battle for it in the corner. Played through, kept in by Boyle at the line. With a dump from Richards. That goes back around. Moved up, here comes Robertson with an opportunity, which is intercepted and shut down by the Selects. That'll go into the corner. Moved up to the line. Gibbs playing it in off the corner. Still battling for it is the Surge as we're back to even strength here. Handed over, wrong song with a shot on net. Off the pad of field. Move back around. Now the Select's trying to break out. Richards will move it out to the neutral zone. Surge getting possession here as that's moved up. It'll go down the ice. Eisner trying to play it through. Behind the net now. Moved up. Selects with it. A little too far ahead of Martin as that goes back for the Surge. Kept in off the shoulder of the ref. But it's moved back. Wrong song. Still battling. Gibbs throwing it over. Rossong trying to get there. Another shot on net. That goes wide for the Selects. Move back up. Burris stumping it into the open ice. Rossong moving it up. That goes out to the neutral zone. Joseph couldn't get there in time. Play through. Here come the surge. It's Lecky. She gets shut down in the slot. Now it's off of McLean. Pushing it through. A shot on net. And it's covered up. Draw here in the surge end. McLean pushing it through, trying to get there. But the surge will take it. Moving down is Hartnell, handing it off. Robertson playing it into the corner, still battling for it. McLean trying to break it out, and she will. Not for long, though, as it stumps back in by the surge, and they get possession. Hand it over, a shot on net goes high! And Robertson scores! What a shot! The surge strike first off of a beautiful shot from Nevaeh Robertson. Right over the glove of Fields. Surge lead 1-0. Select's winning it back now. They're looking to have a quick response as that's moved through. Played off McLean, trying to dangle her way in. That's broken up. Moved around, keeping it in is McIntyre. She'll move it in for McLean. That's broken up. It's into the corner now. Moved up again. McIntyre having a look. She'll take a shot on net, and it's covered up in front by LeBlanc. So another draw here in the surge end. Surge winning it back as it's off for Tran, who throws it over. Turned over in front, a shot on net. Rebounds alive. Another shot, and the Selects can't put it in. A great opportunity for Richards as that's moved up now. They're trying to get that one off. Now here comes MacArthur with a shot, goes off the leg of the Surge defenseman. They've been blocking a lot of shots here tonight. We'll get a stoppage in play. So another draw here in the Surge end. Selects holding them in. Gets one back by the Surge this time. Moved around, Sangster battling for it. As it's finally moved out, Rossong playing it through, she'll move it up. Off for Joseph, who goes in with speed. Behind the net now, Surge trying to set things up. Racing forward is Rossong. Sangster couldn't get there in time. Poking it through, excuse me. Here come the Selects. Hand it over. Richards trying to make the pass over to Morrow. Morrow couldn't get the shot off. Battling forward in the corner again. As it gets played through. Surge getting possession, moved up. Sangster playing it up, and Lecky couldn't get there in time as it's taken by the Selects, and they'll play it through. Francis McDonald. Moving out now. Now here come the Surge. Trying to play it in front off the outside of the pad of Field. Tran at the line with a shot. Tipped in front. Rebounds alive. And Hartnell can't bury it. Francis McDonald now with it for the Selects, battling for it. Hartnell handing it over to Tran. Tran with a shot blocked in front by McLean. Now here comes McIntyre getting it out of that zone with the backhand. McLean racing for it. No icing on this play. Tran's back. She's got possession. She gets tripped up, and we're going to see a penalty here against the Selects as LeBlanc goes racing to the net. Hartnell moving it up to Eisner. Eisner in. McDonald backhanding it into the zone. In deep, and we'll finally get a stoppage in play here. So McLean heads to the box here for tripping. And Surge will get their first 5-on-4 of the game. Trying to extend their lead here late in the first. One back by the Surge. Joseph moving it. Or Leckie, excuse me. McLuish, shot on net, goes high and just off the shoulder of Field as McCaddy brings it out. Into the corner now. McCormick moving it. Leckie handing it over. It's off for Buffett. Has a look, moves it back. McCormick, shot on net, blocked in front. As it gets tipped down. Move back up. McCormick, shot on net. As that one's moved back up. Leckie walking in, a shot, tipped in front, rebound, picked up and moved out of harm's way by MacArthur. Or excuse me, McCaddy. Fired, and that'll bounce high. Into the corner now. McCormick handing it over. Leckie having a look, back to McCormick. She'll take a shot on net. That goes high and off the glass. Mediclue trying to get a shot. That one goes to Leckie, handed over. A shot on net goes high. Rebound alive. Trying to bat that one in, and it's covered up. Right at the buzzer. Field making the save. Seems to be some type of confusion here. Refs had to talk things over with both benches there. But now the teams will head back to their respective locker rooms. Surge lead 1-0. After the first period, they'll come back to a 31-second power play. We'll be back in just a moment with the second period. This is the Maritime MGHL on High Button Sports. And welcome back here, folks, for the second period of this matchup between the Selects and the Surge. A win here for the Surge ties them at first place with the Selects. Puck drops about to start. And here we go. Selects winning it back. Surge on a 5-on-3 here. Played in front, and that's back around. Into the corner now, battling for it. Eisner having a look as that's moved over. Rossong trying to get a shot on net, and it's covered up by Fields. Draw here in the select zone. Surge getting ready for the two Selects players to be out. Play around in front, shot on net, covered up by Field. Another draw here. One back for the Selects. Now here comes McIntyre trying to play it through. That's broken up and dumped back in with the help of Rossong. Back in the corner now. Selects trying to break it out. That one's turned over. McGlue trying to get a shot on net, and it's covered up again by Field. Draw one for the Surge. Played around. Surge with an opportunity here. Trying to move it up now. MacArthur battling for it as she gets knocked off her feet. No call on that play. Moved around, and Gold will throw it in. MacArthur racing in after it. As that's played around. Trying to get back is Connolly. She'll get there first in the corner, but she'll have to battle for it. Played around, Poirier gets that poked off her stick. And Vint throwing it in to the Surge end. Back behind the net now. Tran turned over in front, Tran with it again. Trying to play it up. Battle for it at the line. Selects keeping it in momentarily. Another shot on net. Sticked away by LeBlanc. Battling for it. Tran with it again. Trying to break it out, for the Surge. She'll get it out to the neutral. Joseph couldn't quite reach that one, but it's off for Leckie. Leckie circling back, loses that one. That'll go deep into the Surge end. She'll move it around for Kim. That's dumped back in by the Selects. Sangster now battling for it. Along the boards. Richards for the Selects getting it to the other side. And the Surge move that one out. Down in behind the net. LeBlanc coming out of the net to make a play. Ventor trying to get possession. That's moved in. The wraparound attempt here by McIntyre. Rebound goes wide into the corner. A good chance there. Now the Surge with it. Sangster trying to play it through. Almost dumped in, but McCaddy moves it up for Francis McDonald, who's now battling. She'll dump it in and head off for a change. Surge breaking out now. Moved up to Vitor. She'll play it in deep into the Selects end as that's turned over. Boyle. Another shot on net, saved in front by Field. Moved up and that play's intercepted. Chisholm couldn't get there in time. Cartnell moving it. Played in front and that's intercepted for the Surge. Now here come the Selects. Moving through. A good defensive play there. It's in front. Trying to bang it in and that one gets cleared out. Surge keeping that out the back of the net with the help of LeBlanc. Now they'll start to break it out to the neutral. Hartnell, excuse me. Trying to get that one. But here comes McLean. Getting some help from Tanner who dumps it in. Surge moving it out now. Dumping it in, and that'll be an icing against the Surge. So go back down to the Surge end. Selects an opportunity to set up in the offensive end. Richards taking the draw. One back by the Surge as they played around Tran. Trying to move it out. Selects getting possession back. Play shot on net, and it almost sneaks in. Is that in? Not sure if that was in or not from my angle. It looked like it might have slipped in as MacArthur almost strikes here. Selects bench speaking their opinion. They want to talk to the ref, so we'll excuse me, take a quick break here and let the refs talk over with the Selects bench. But it will be no goal on this play. Not sure if it trickled in or not. Refs have a better view than I as we go off for an offensive zone draw. Surge winning it with the help of Tran coming in. Moved around. Surge trying to break it out. That's picked up by Burris, who moves it in. Now here comes Richards. Back into the Select zone as the Surge dump it in. That's moved. Vint couldn't get her stick on it, so a shot from the line, sticked away by Field. Vint battling forward. As that goes back in, gold, and we're going to get a penalty here, it looks like. Head contact. And looks to be against the Selects, perhaps? And it will be. Connolly heads to the box for head contact. So Surge getting an opportunity here on the power play. 14:04 left in play. 1-8 in the corner, battling for it. McIntyre's in there as well. McLean in there, battling for it, but Hartnell grabs it and she'll circle up to the line. Playing it over. Shot on it by Eisner, glove down by Field. McLean trying to get it out. Rossong with a great stick in the air to keep that one in. His Eisner plays it over in open ice. Robertson battling for it, but the Selects will get possession as they try and move it out. Eisner playing it in front. And Vitor couldn't get the shot off. Played through and moved up. Hartnell moving it to Rossong. Shot on net blocked in front. And it's turned over. McLean's off on a breakaway. Short-handed, she's in, and she scores! Hallie Rose McLean ties things up short-handed for the Selects. Good pressure at the line from the Selects. Makes a D-to-D basket turned over. And McLean races for it on the breakaway and puts it in through the 5-hole for the short-handed marker. Tying things up here. Surge getting possession now. They're going to try and bring it in. Playing it through. Pettigrew throwing it back into the corner. It's Lecky. Moving it up. Tran. Playing it over. Shot on net by Joseph, and it's covered up. So we'll have another draw here in the Selects end. And they'll have to redo that draw. Puck's dropped. There's a battle for it at the dot. Surge coming back with it. Moved up. Nightblue having a look. She'll hand it over. It's played over. Lecky trying to get a backhand shot on. That goes wide. Select's trying to clear it, but Sangster will battle for it. That goes down the length of the ice. Select's getting the clear on that play. Tran's back. Having a look. She'll circle back into her end. As Nightblue has it now. Ned Klug crossing red and dumping it in. Field coming out of net to play it. Handing it off, and the Selects will clear it out again. But this time it'll be icing. Draw here in the Selects end. One back for the Selects as they start to move it out now. Hand it over. McLean getting that puck in her feet, so she'll grab it off the boards as she dumps it in. Back around behind the net now. Selects battling, trying to go for the wraparound. McLean will go into the corner racing after it, but the Surge grab it first as they move it out. And now they'll trade off icings as the Surge get one. Draw here in the Surge end. Selects with possession, moving it in for Richards, battling for it in the corners. That's fired around. McLeod trying to get there, but the Surge get it, and they'll bring it out to the neutral. McIntyre playing it up. Down in to the Surge end, and now the Selects will get an icing. So we go back down to the subway end. Played back. Selects with possession as they try and move it out, and they will. Tran with it, and she'll throw it back in. Field coming out of the net to make a play. As she hands it off. McIntyre moving it up. Back around the net now for Tran. in the surge zone. She'll hand it up. Playing it over, Surge moving in now. Off back, Gold with a shot on net, sticked away by LeBlanc. Into the corner, battling for it. Gold in there, trying to keep it in. But the Selects will get possession in their own zone. McIntyre. She'll cut back. She didn't like what she sees, so she'll look for a better option as she moves. Turned over. Kim throwing it back in. As that's handed over. McLeod, excuse me. Throwing it in. McLean now. Holding it at the line. She'll get possession. That's turned over. Turned over again. McLean pushing through. She'll play it in for McLeod, who couldn't get the shot off. She was tied up with Kim. Play back. Selects with it again. They'll cross red and dump it. Oh, weird bounce off the boards there as LeBlanc gets behind the net to play it. Bounced off the boards and hit the outside of the post. Playing it in now. Shot on net by Hartnell. Goes wide off a leg as that's fired down the ice, and no icing on this play. Surge coach not liking that one. He shares a couple words with ref Cole Thompson. We'll get a stoppage in play here. So another draw here in the Surge end. Puck is dropped and it's won back by the Surge. Moved around, turned over. Selects battling for it now. It's Boyle. Now the Surge with it. Hartnell. Moving through along the boards. Turned over. Mac Hattie gets it and she'll move it around. Battling for it now. Trying to get it out. It's Tanner. That goes back behind the net. Connolly moving it. Tanner couldn't get there in time. It's turned over to the Surge. McCaddy now. Moving in and in. Excuse me, and she'll cross red and dump it into the Surge zone, and the Selects will get a quick change with 8:15 left to go here. Back around behind the net. Rossong battling for it. Selects getting it and keeping it at the line. A shot on net from Burris. Back behind the net. Select still with possession. It's McIntyre throwing it over. Vint with a shot on net. Goes off the pad. Rebounds alive and it's cleared out by the Surge. A great defensive play. As McIntyre heads back for it. An icing against the Surge here. We'll head back to their end. Selects an opportunity to set things up and perhaps take their first lead of the game. A little bit over halfway through the second. Kept in by McIntyre at the line. She'll skate around with it. Now she'll have to battle for Burris, who's racing back into her zone. Burris. Having a look. She'll play it through and dump it in as that fires around. Richards trying to backhand it in. Turned over. Tran moving it up, and it's a little too far ahead of Joseph. That goes down. Sangster battling for possession, and she'll get it as she hands it back for Tran. Tran flipping it up to Joseph along the boards. MacArthur now skating it through. Having a look, she'll cut back at the line as she moves it over. Boyle with a shot, rebounds alive in front. Selects trying to regain possession, but they won't as Tran grabs it. Tran moving it back for Kim. Kim handing it up. Lecky playing it through. That's intercepted by Tanner. Or excuse me, Dorian. Selects with it now. They'll cross red and dump it in. They'll race for it behind the net. Train grabbing it. Moving it up. It's an opportunity here. Skating in. Shot on net. And it goes high. What an opportunity for Buffett as she comes flying in. Now the Selects with it. Boyle, or excuse me, McLean trying to get it through, and she gets shut down after crossing the line. As that's played back. McLean moving it up. McLeod poking it through and getting it in to the Surge end. As that goes down the ice. Turning it over. It's McLeod. Moving it through. It's back behind the net. McLeod still in, battling for it. As Rasong is back there as well. Surge with it, trying to get it out here. And it's kept in at the line, excuse me. Surge still trying to get it out. Kept in again. And now there'll be a battle for it along the boards. In deep. It's McCaddy having a couple looks, moving it up for Tanner. Back to McCaddy. Played in front. And Chisholm couldn't get the shot off. McIntyre skating the line, moving it in. Shot on net. And it's gloved up by LeBlanc. Surge getting a opportunity to change here. Battle for it at the dot. Surge getting possession. Out with it is Robertson, moving it to Hartnell, who gets turned over as that's moved for Richards, playing it through. McIntyre's in deep, trying to play it up. Moved off, a shot on net goes high and into the glove of LeBlanc. Another big save off a shot from Boyle. Battle for it off the face-off, trying to get a shot off is MacArthur, as that's turned over and moved up. Hartnell crossing blue, a shot on net, saved by Field. Hartnell with it again. Having a look as she moves it over to Kim. Kim back, and that's turned over by MacArthur, and she gets it out. Trying to gain possession here now, and it looks like we're going to get a penalty. And the Selects bench don't like that call as MacArthur heads to the box for head contact. The third head contact penalty here in this matchup. So the draw in the Selects end. The Surge, an opportunity to take a lead late in the second. The song keeps it in at the line, poking it through for Eisner. Eisner in, shot on net, blocked in front by McIntyre, and it's covered up by Field. Another draw here in the Selects end. Winning it back is the Surge. Moved around Rasong, trying to get a shot on net. Rebound's alive, and it's covered up by Field once again. Another draw here. One back by the surge. Hartnell having a look at her options. She tries to fire it over. To Eisner with a shot. No one's there in front to tap that one in, so Hartnell grabs the rebound. Rassong moving it over. Eisner. Back to Rassong. In for Hartnell, who takes a 1-tee shot that goes high. Into the corner now. And it's played out. The Selects clear it for their first time on this PK. 2:45 left in play. It's back. Vitor moving it through. That's turned over by Boyle. And that moves around. Rassong trying to race for it as it exits out to the neutral. She'll take a moment with it in her zone, looking for a passing option as she hands it off. Robertson skating through now, coming in with speed. She'll take a move and throw it in on net. The rebound, as it's almost kept in at the line. The ref's calling that one offside. I'm not sure. I wish we had video review here for these games. As I don't know. I think that might have been onside, but here we are for the offside call. As it's one back by the surge. Nedglue handing it over. Back to Nedglue. Playing it in for Joseph. Joseph battling for it. Over to Tran. Tran throwing it in with the help of Rassong. Excuse me, Buffett. Battling in there now. Richards in there for the Selects as well, and she'll turn that one over. And it's moved up. Richards racing for it with 1:30 left. Into the corner. She'll hand it off. Selects trying to set things up here. As Moreau throws it around. Tran getting possession now. Moving through. It's Joseph. In with speed, trying to break her way around McIntyre as McIntyre ties her up. Richards handing it off for MacArthur. MacArthur coming in with speed. Still with it. MacArthur. Shot on net. Goes high. Rebound's alive, and she can't tap in the rebound. Couple nice moves from MacArthur there. And it's off. Surge. 3-on-1. Moving in. Joseph trying to get a shot off. Blocked in front. A great defensive play as a stick goes flying on that one. Now here comes McLean looking for her second. Got MacArthur with her. McLean with a shot goes wide. McLean picking up her rebound, trying to play it in front as it goes into the corner for MacArthur. MacArthur firing it around. Another shot. And McLean can't bury in the 1-tee as it was bouncing a little weird. Moved up to the line. Another shot. And it's covered up by LeBlanc. Both Field and LeBlanc having a fantastic game, and actually their stats as of right now are perfectly even. Letting in 1 goal on 23 shots each. As that's played back. Surge trying to break it out now. Eisner crossing red. She'll bring it in. Taking a shot on net, and it's covered up by Field. With just 15 seconds left in the second. Eisner taking the draw against Richards. Richards winning it back. Played around. Burris moving it along the boards, but it's kept in by Nedglue. Move back around. McIntyre playing it up, trying to break it out. Kim's there to hold it in as that ends the second period. And things are all tied up here. Selects with the goal for this period. We'll be back in just a moment with the third. This is Maritime MGHL on High Button Sports. And welcome back here, folks, for the third period of this matchup between the Surge and the Selects. Going into the third here, things are all tied up at 1. An extremely close game. The Selects looking to defend their first place spot. And Surge looking to tie for that first place spot with a win here today, as Robertson has it for the Surge. She'll move it up. Eyes on her. Trying to get played it through, but McLean breaks that up and she'll take possession. Moving through now. McLean. Gets the shot off, but it's kept in by Dorian. Back around the net. Song moving it. Hartnell moving it off for Robertson, who takes it in, dumps it, but that goes off a foot and heads back. Tran taking a slap shot in the neutral to get it into the Select's end. Moved up, McLean. Playing it deep into the Surge end now. Tran with it, moving it up. Leckie to Sangster. Sangster backhanding it up to the line. Kept in. Another shot on net off the pad of field. Battle for it in the corner. Still battling for it. And that one squeaks out now, as the Selects start to move it out. Dumped in by McLeod. Kept in again, thanks to Richards. Tran for the Surge, moving it out. She'll cross red and dump it in. And the Surge players will head off for a change. Fired up, that one goes off a stick and high into the Selects bench. Draw here just outside the Selects end. One back by the Surge, thrown in. Picked up by the Selects as they try to break it out. It's McIntyre. McIntyre moving it over to Burris as she moves it up. Moved in by Martin. Gets back around. Burris trying to keep that one in, but it slips by her, and Hartnell battling for it now. Or excuse me. Moved around McIntyre. Played in front, turned over, and an opportunity there for the Surge gets broken up. McCaddy moving it to Francis McDonald. Kept in at the line by the Surge, but it's off for Burris. Burris moving it. Trying to play it through. McCaddy getting it. She'll move in with the puck now. A shot on net that's intercepted by a goal. Back around the net for Francis McDonald. She's in the corner, hands it off. Moved up, and that's turned over. Robertson moving it up. It's off for the Selects, who dump it back in. Playing it through. Boyle joining the rush, trying to poke that one in, but it's intercepted and thrown out to the neutral. Dumped in again from Song. Buffett trying to move it up. That's intercepted and turned over to the Selects. Moved up, McLean. Grabbing it off the boards. She'll skating with some speed. Tyler's McLean with the shot. Blocked in front by LeBlanc. Still battling for it. A big collision there as Buffett brings it in. Buffett trying to play it over, and that's intercepted. Played up again. Hallie Rose McLean getting it. She tries to make a pass with that one. McCormick grabbing it, moving it back to Kim and over. Had a clue. Turning it over. That's another shot on net. Kim picking it up. Robertson. Moving it through. That's picked up by the Selects. Vint trying to get a shot on net there, and it's covered up by LeBlanc. And the Surge will get a change here. One back by the Selects. Moved over. Shot from Burris, and it's covered up by LeBlanc. Another draw here in the Surge zone. Surge getting that one this time as it's moved over. Trying to fire it up and get it out. Off the stick of Eisner. Walking in is MacArthur. Hands it back. Blocked in front by Hartnell. And Robertson picks it up. Skating behind her, net along the boards. And we're going to get a Selects penalty here as Robertson still with it. Moving it to Hartnell. And we'll get a penalty for tripping. Looks like it'll be Vint going to the box. So Surge with a power play opportunity to take a lead here with 14:48 left in the first. Puck's dropped. Surge with possession. Rassong moving it in. Back to Rassong. She'll take a shot on net. Hits off a body and goes wide over to Hartnell. Hartnell trying to move it in. Robertson. Hartnell handing it over. Eisner back for Rassong. Rassong to Hartnell. Hartnell couldn't get the 1T off. So she'll take a minute with it. Move it in for Eisner. Shot on net. Rebound's alive. Hartnell trying to get it off. Robertson. It's in front and an opportunity for Vitor to throw in that rebound off the pad. And Field shuts the door. Move back. Rassong. Handing it over. Eisner walking in to the slot. Another shot. Hartnell fans on that one. Moving it through, and it's cleared out by the Selects. And in first is McLean, who tries to get the turnover from LeBlanc there. Just missed that one. Now Hartnell coming the other way. Moving it back. Vitor over. Eisner played in front. Hartnell, and she scores. What a goal! Rachel Hartnell, the captain, making things 2-1 for the Surge on the power play. So the draw here at center ice. Selects now down by 1. That's one back by the Surge. Move through. Here comes Sangster with the shot. Covered up. Rebound's alive. Still trying to poke it in. And it's kept out. Select's trying to break it out now as they're getting a lot of pressure here. And they will get it out. Trying to grab possession is Richards, but that's back. Moved over. Burris now skating in. She'll dump it and circle back and go off for the change. Morrow with it. She's into the corner. Morrow still with it, trying to get a pass on that one. She'll throw it over to the open ice. Dorian throwing it back in. Lecky grabbing it, and she'll move it off for Kim. Kim firing it up. Joseph trying to get there. As Dorian keeps it into the Surge zone. Kim grabbing it. Having a look, she'll throw it off the glass. and move it up. Turn back into the corner. Frances McDonald battling for it. She'll go down. Kim goes down as well in the battle. Move back. Metaclue throwing it in. And it's turned off as Gold throws it into the Select's end. Selects now. Martin battling for it still. She's getting a lot of pressure on her. As that moves up for the Surge defense. Shot on net. Gloved up by Field. So the Selects will get a change here. Move through. Surge with it, throwing it on net. Another shot, blocked in front. Moved around to the corner. Move back. Select's trying to poke it through into the end. London pushing it. And the Surge dumped that one in. Moved up McLean. Handing it off for Tanner, who dumps it into the zone. And it's around. Chisholm getting there. Surge trying to break it out. Chisholm's back for it. She'll dump it into the corner and race after it. Tran throwing it over. McLean trying to get possession on that one. But now here comes Buffett pushing through, and McIntyre holds her off. Moved up. Chisholm misses the pass on that one for a 2-on-1 opportunity, and Buffett comes back and picks it up. Buffett handing it back to Rassong. She'll cross red and bring it into the zone as it's fired around. McIntyre getting back for it. McIntyre dangling her way through the neutral. She'll bring it along the right side board. Into the corner now, still with it. But she'll lose that one as Rassong gets pushed off. Eisner firing it up. Boyle trying to get that one out, but it goes back into the Select's end. Move through. Here comes Vint. And she gets that puck, that puck poked away out of her possession. Select's trying to set something up here. A shot on net goes wide and into the corner. Vint racing for it. She'll get it and throw it back around the net. Kim getting there. She's trying to poke it out, but it's kept in by MacArthur. And now Richards is in behind the net battling. Moves it around for Vint. Vint having a look. Throwing it to Richards, who didn't realize the pass was coming to her. So this one's turned over to Hartnell. Hartnell pushing it through into the corner now. Richards putting some pressure on as it's up. Big slap shot from the line. Rebounds alive. Leckie trying to get a shot, goes high. Moved around, keeping it in as Gibbs. Back up, Tran with a shot, and it's gloved up by Field. .8:44 left to go. Selects down by 1. Surge in to draw back. It's moved through. Battling at the corner. Now the Select's bringing it out. McLeod trying to break it through. Still battling for it along the boards. And they can't push that one through. Sangster handing it over. Leckie brings it in. Back around behind the net. McIntyre moving through with speed. She'll skate it through. Rossong watching her closely. McIntyre trying to play it in. A close chance there. LeBlanc without a stick as the Surge move it out. It's Lecky playing it through. She'll circle back. Nice pass over. Edclo throwing it in on net. Blocked in front. Surge still with possession here. That's turned over. Selects with it now in their corner, trying to break this one out as it's fired around. McLeod trying to poke it through, and she will as she throws it down into the Surge end. Firing it up, Surge will dump it in to the select zone. Just 7:10 left to go here. Moved around now. Here comes McLean. She's coming in with speed. Dangling her way through. It's in. And Boyle couldn't get the shot off. It's back up. Kept in by Martin, but not for long as the Surge break it out to London. She's got a little bit of a stretch here, trying to play it through. Another shot blocked in front off of the stick of Dorian. Moved out. Kim with a shot on net goes wide. Selects still battling for it in their own zone. 6:20 left to go here. Another shot on net. And it's gloved up by Field. Tran throwing that one from the blue line. Draw here in the select's end. It's one back. Rossong trying to get a shot on. Gloved up by Field. One back over. Gibbs keeping it at the line for the Surge. Down behind the net. Burris throwing it over as that's turned over to goal. Moved in front. Surge trying to get a shot off. Rebound's alive and it's sticked away by Field. Now here comes the Selects trying to push it through. And that'll be offside, unfortunately, for the Selects. Draw here just outside the Surge zone. Selects get a fresh line out there. Puck is dropped. Selects get it. MacArthur backhanding it into the Surge zone. Moved around. McLean racing for it. But it looks like Gibbs will get there first. It's alive in front. Shot on net and a big save from LeBlanc as MacArthur can't get that one in. Moving it up. Dorian throwing it over. Shot from the line. And it's gloved up by LeBlanc once again. A couple big saves for the Surge. Another draw here in the Surge end. Eisner will get kicked out. Shot on net, sticked away by LeBlanc. Eisner trying to clear it. As that one sneaks out, Robertson pushing through. Back around, Kim at the line. Shot on net goes high and a risky opportunity still out. As Field was down, trying to get a save there, and it's sneaked away. Surge with it. Another shot. Excuse me. Moved around. McIntyre in the corner. Played up. Another shot on net by Hartnell. And now here comes MacArthur. McLean trying to catch up with her. MacArthur dumps it in and races for that. McLean getting it. And that one's turned over. Eisner moving it through for the surge. Eisner having a look at who she's got for passing options as she goes behind the net. And moved up. Gibbs throwing it back in at the line, but it hits off a shoulder and it's dumped in by the selects, and that'll be an icing. So the draw here in the selects end. 3:58 left to go. Surge up by 1. Moving it over. Lecky, this is moved up to the line. A shot on net gets blocked in front by Vint. Still battling for it along the boards. Selects coming out with it. It's MacArthur. She'll cross red and dump it in. She'll head off for a change. Moved up. Sangster can't reach it, so she'll go racing for it. And this will be an icing against the surge now. .324 left to go in the third period. One back by the surge. Gibbs firing it up the boards. Moved up, Sangster trying to get there, and that's intercepted by Burris. Burris moving through, trying to dangle her way in. That's intercepted. She'll battle for it along the corner. Or excuse me, along the boards. Burris still in there. Lecky in there as well, helping Sangster out battle for it with the surge. Sangster goes down, and we'll get a stoppage at play. So the draw here again. In the surge zone. Selects need to set something up here if they want to tie it up now. One back by the selects, but turned over. Hartnell skating up. Going in wide. A shot on net goes around the back of the boards. Thrown back in. Vint racing for it. Moves it back for McIntyre. McIntyre up. MacArthur. MacArthur handing it back. McLean back to MacArthur. MacArthur trying to keep it in, getting lots of pressure. McLean moving it up. And that sneaks out past Burris. She'll move it over to McIntyre. Field looking at the bench, waiting for the signal. Another shot on that goes wide. Off of the stick of Burris. Flipped up high. Surge trying to get it out. It's kept in by McLeod, but now here comes Robertson the other way. Gets turned over on that one. McLeod didn't see where that puck went. Still a battle for it along the boards. Pushing through is Richardson. Or excuse me, Richards. Moved over, Dorian throwing it in. Back behind the net. Dorian pinching for that one, getting it to Richards, back to Dorian. Dorian throwing it into the open ice for Richards. She'll try and play it in front, that's turned over, and here comes Eisner. Empty net here for the selects. Here comes Vint, moving in. Vint around, looking for a passing option. She'll hand it off for Burris. Over. McIntyre to Vint. Vint with a shot. It's in front. Trying to poke it in. And it goes behind the net. MacArthur pushing through and she'll get possession. Moves out to McIntyre. 43 seconds left to go. Over. Shot on net. Blocked in front. Burris racing to get there. And she will. Getting Eisner into the boards. That one sneaks out, but McLean's got possession. Now here she comes. Circling through. That's poked away by Poirier. Moved up. Burris. Another shot in along the boards. MacArthur getting there on the other side. Moving it up. McIntyre at the line to Burris. Back to McIntyre. She'll take a shot. It's in front and it goes wide. MacArthur throwing it in. Goes off the side of the net and back around the corner. MacArthur still battling for it, and that'll be the end of the game. Surge walking away with the win. They tie for first place. A very exciting matchup and an extremely even game between these two clubs. But the Surge walk away with the win, 2-1. Thank you, folks, for choosing High Button Sports to watch your Maritime MGHL hockey games. My name is Vaughn Mason, and have